Don't want to forget it. Sign sheet going. So it's name.
The mics keep disconnecting and they're in the middle of filming.
Yeah.
Is that picking them up for us? It's okay.
Now, this program is college.
Because I leave that unattended. I'll just wait. Because I don't know what to do.
This is
Because
probably just maybe this. Yeah. Maybe this. Yeah. So many. And get college. Competitive. You have to go.
I don't want to tell them. But I told them.
Responsibility. A folder. Nobody. Second of all, there's a March 31. March by when? 3:30. Teacher. Right? You have to choose teachers from the core. That's it. Math, science, history, English. All right? So pick 3 teachers that you know are going to get this form back in. And then you go bother them every so many days. Have you got the form done? Have you got the form done? Because we don't do that. Why? This is a college class. We expect you to act like college students when you get in this program. So, the first thing is, it's your job to get the teacher recommendations in. Was that an issue last year? Yep. Some people didn't get them in. And I know it's not your fault, but you have to go make sure those teachers turn it in. Number 2, we have changed one thing on this application. There is a whole page of questions that you have to answer. And what we've learned is that we can't read your handwriting. So, this year, it clearly states you need to take this, number 1, type the question, answer the question. Type, type, type. And then go to number 2, type the question, answer the question. Type. What do you think is going to happen if you turn in your application and you've handwritten it? Out. We're not going to accept them. Okay? Again, if you can't follow directions for your application, you're never going to make it in this program. Let's be clear. This is tough, and there's a lot of expectations. It's also a wonderful and great opportunity. Okay, and the other thing is, Ms. Kleppin's going to talk about all the curriculum. But in your mind, I need you thinking right now, if you get accepted into this program, you will have a summer course in June. You have 2 summer courses in June. Sometimes they take up to 2 weeks. Usually they begin right after graduation. And it's not an option to miss it. You will also have summer course going into your senior year. All right? Keep that in your mind when we talk about all these different classes. Let me make sure I have everything on here for you. Okay, at the end, I'm going to have the applications up here. You're going to hear from Ms. Clapp, you're going to hear from Dr. Webb, and then if you want an application, I'm going to give you one. And then you're going to go over there to Ms. Thompson, because one of the questions on here is, what is your GPA? All right, and she's going to look it up for you before you leave here, so you don't have to worry about trying to get in touch with us to get it. And we'll have some pencils. So Miano, GPA, 4.10. That's great. Write it down, go. And then you take this back with you. If you have any questions, you ask me at the end, okay? Because if you really want to do it, we want to help you get everything right. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over now to Dr. Webb, who's from Central Office, and she's going to talk to you a little bit, and then Ms. Clappen's going to actually go over what the classes will look like. Okay.
I'm going to take just a second of giving the nuts and bolts of how to get into the program. I want to explain a little bit why we have to limit the seats and why the expectations are so high. So I recognize some of you from my days as a principal. Hello. Those of you who I do not know, I'm happy to support you however I can. You've got great folks here to help you, but I am also willing to help. The payment for Cougar Scholars. So basically what we've done is Pulaski County Public Schools, and this was before my time at the school board office, but Pulaski County Public Schools got with New River and said, we want to create a program that our students can get into, take college coursework, and before they graduate high school, have an associate's degree from New River. So it took a lot of planning and a lot of logistical working out of things. So I want to make sure that you understand it's not just a bunch of grown-ups trying to be hard on you. These are things that are tricky to deal with. So you're going to be working with, some of your classes are going to be with college professors. And their expectations might be a little different than what you've experienced in some of your courses up to this point. There's a lot of accountability on you as a person, as a student. So like when you take your summer course, it's virtual, and if you don't do it, they'll kick you out. Okay, so that's kind of why we're sharing all those expectations now. Now we have had students go through and be very successful and have done a wonderful job, but just know what you're going into when you go into it. The last thing I will say is we have to limit the number because we pay for this program out of a federal grant. The federal government says, here's a grant, we give you this amount of money, but here are the rules on how you have to spend it. And so I have to report back how we've spent it, okay? So with that, you get this amount of money, and that's the only amount of money you get. So we're operating a program within certain parameters where this is the amount of money we have, and this is the number of students that we can allow in the program. My goal at the school board office is to make sure there's funding that as many as we can get in the program who deserve to be there, we can. But there is a limit to the amount of money that's available. So I just wanted to say hello so you could see my face, talk about the overall part of the program, and now Ms. Kleppen's going to get into what courses will you actually take.
Okay, before I get started, I want to check a couple of, some people didn't do a check mark, so I want to make sure you're here and it wasn't that you were saying that you didn't mean to check it. Natalie Hinckley, okay, and Riley Lambert, okay. And then someone wrote something over here, I have no idea what that means, so check in with us before you leave, because if you're supposed to be on the list, we need to make sure that we report that. So I don't know what that is. Okay, do you all have any questions about anything that Ms. Miano or Dr. Webb has already talked about before we get into the weeds? Okay, great. I do want to reiterate, Ms. Miano said something about this being free. It's free to you guys, it's free to your parents, but it's not free to the county. Okay, so they are paying for you to do these classes. And the slots are limited, so we do want to make sure that if you're serious about it, we want to support you and see you through to the end. So if you get one of the coveted spots and you end up dropping out of the program, then that means somebody else didn't have the opportunity. So just think about it and make sure that you feel comfortable with what decision you're going to be making. Because really, like next year, you're going to be college students. You're going to be high school students, but you're also going to be college students. So we are going to have certain expectations for you. So let's hand this out. This, I didn't want to give this to you because I don't want you to be distracted while they were going over all the important stuff. But this is basically the curriculum, meaning all the classes that you're going to take. So as they're handing those out, I want to say a couple of things. Pulaski, you guys are so fortunate for the number of dual enrollment classes that Pulaski offers you. You could actually do the entire associate degree for New River with the exception of 4 classes if you don't do the Cougar Scholars Program. So don't think that I have to do the Cougar Scholars Program to get a lot of classes, because you can do it without the Cougar Scholars Program. You can get everything except 4 classes, and those 4 classes are the classes that are offered in the summer. So during the school year, you could do almost the entire Cougar Scholars Program without being in it, okay? Obviously, if you're looking at the Cougar Scholars Program, you are high academic students. Chances are, when you graduate high school, you're going directly to a 4-year school. That could be the case whether you do Cougar Scholars or not. Remember I said you could get everything but 4 classes? Those students are probably also going to go on directly to a 4-year school. Okay? If you finish the Cougar Scholars Program, there's no need to go to the community college because you've done the 2 years that they offer. All right, so let's look at, these are an AAS, it's actually now called the Arts and Sciences Program. It's a transfer program. And what you're looking at is general studies. New River offers 10 different transfer programs. This is the most general that you can get. It's the biggest umbrella. When we work with seniors and they're like, I want to go to college, but I'm not sure what I want to do, this is what we put them in, because it covers almost everything that they need. If they know they want to go the business route, the education route, the engineering route, the computer science route, we'd put them in one of those transfer programs. But the Cougar Scholars Program, for the most part, this is what you're doing, is general studies. Okay, so this is, if you look at your sheet, the first sheet, front and back, is what high school looks like for you. Okay, everything that you are going to do for the next 2 years if you decide to do the Cougar Scholars Program. So it's pretty regimented. Don't get a ton of electives. And it also depends on the master schedule as to whether or not you can get all the classes that you need. But this is the goal for you as Cougar Scholars as high school students, your first year and your second year. So your junior year and your senior year. The second sheet is what you are going to complete at the college level. You're going to do everything. And you will then have the general studies associate's degree. Does that make sense? All right, let's look at that first sheet again. And you see you've got that first thing highlighted. That means that's stuff you're taking outside of your high school year. You're going to do that in the summer. Okay, it'd be this summer, you're going to do 2 one-credit classes. One is college success skills, which is basically, how can I make sure I'm going to be successful in college? It's going to teach things like test-taking skills, note-taking skills, how to manage your time, how to manage your money, how to manage being an adult. Okay, and then the second one is the health class that is offered. You either have to do a health or a PE to finish the associate's degree. Our PE at the college is different than the PE you're used to here. It could be rock climbing, it could be fishing. But we also offer a Health 115 class, which is a 1-credit online class. So that's what the Cougar Scholars do. Okay? The second summer, if you look on the second page, that's in pink. That's what you're going to do next summer before you enter your senior year. And it's 2 3-credit classes. The first one was a 1-credit class. Both of them were 1 credit. The second summer is more rigorous because you're doing 6 college credits in 1 summer. Okay, you're going to do a computer class, which is kind of like the Google Suite. And then you're also going to do public speaking. Okay, those are the 2 summer classes that you would take next year. Any questions about the stuff you're doing in the summer? Okay, Let's go back to your first sheet again. And we're going to walk through. All right, this is your junior year requirements. So basically, these are all the classes that you're taking, and you can see like everyone's going to do dual English. Okay, you're either taking that as a, you guys would take it as a junior. Some seniors will be in that class as well if they didn't take it their junior year and they want to take it. Now, what's important is that you guys, since you're on a block schedule, you're in class every single day for an hour and a half in that class. If you were over at New River, you would be in that same class 3 hours per week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday for an hour, or Tuesday, Thursday for an hour and a half. Now that you guys are block schedule, you're every single day for an hour and a half. So you're really getting English 111 in the first 9 weeks and English 112 in the second 9 weeks. So you're getting 6 college credits in 1 semester. So the block schedule is nice that you get a lot of content, but it's harder because you're going through that content quickly and getting it done in a 9-week schedule here that the college students are taking 15 weeks to do. Okay, so again, I would just want to reiterate the rigor that you're getting. The history, the U.S. history with Ms. Cozart, that would be the same thing. History 121 in the first 9 weeks, history 122 in the second 9 weeks, but then you're meeting your U.S. history requirement as a junior. Then your humanities, fine arts, you get to pick one of those. You don't have to do both. You can pick either humanities or the music. I recommend you talk to other Cougar scholars who have already been through the program. Talk to them about what these different classes are like to get a feel for which way you want to go. If you're not way on the music side or way on the humanities side, talk to them and ask how the classes were. They love to share their experience. Okay, then you're going to move into your social science. Everyone's going to do the dual psychology. And again, you're getting those 6 college credits. Math. Math is the most complicated piece. You have 3 different sequences that you can do here. So look at your second page, and down at the bottom on the New River, on the community college curriculum, down at the bottom, you see the 3 maths that have an asterisk next to them or a star. Those are the sequences that you can do. If you are thinking that you are a STEM student, science, technology, engineering, math, you definitely want to go like pre-med or engineering or any of that hardcore type stuff, then you are going to need to do 3 maths. Math 161, which is pre-calc 1, Math 162, which is pre-calc 2, and then Math 263, which is calculus. It's going to be on the next page because you'll do that your senior year. But that is like engineering calc 1. Okay, so you got to do 3 maths if you're going that route. If you are thinking you'll go liberal arts, like you want to become a teacher, you want to study history, you want to study psychology, but you're not going into that other field, then you have 2 options. You can do the Math 154, which is quantitative reasoning, followed by Math 155, which is statistical reasoning, or you can do a combination of 155, which is the statistical reasoning, and then followed by the pre-calc. But those 3 sequences are starred down here at the bottom. We're not going to tell you exactly which ones. If you become a Cougar Scholar, we'll work with you to figure out which path is best for you. But that math piece is a little bit complicated, okay? Junior year. I think that's everything with the math. It looks like you also have to take chemistry for high school graduation. Okay, you guys are juggling both high school and college graduation at the same time. All right, any questions about junior year and what it looks like? Okay, let's go to their senior year. Okay, you're going to take the English 12-2 dual enrollment. That's with Miss Melton. That's your literature classes. You are going to do the full year of biology with Miss Petzold, dual enroll biology. That you will do biology 1 in the fall and biology 2 in the spring. You'll finish off your math sequence depending on which avenue that you're taking. We'll make sure you get in the right math for that. And then you go into what you have certain transfer electives that you would do. And what that means is you're going to decide between either education or Western civilization. Okay, the education class has a prerequisite. If you want to do the EDU 198 with the EDU 200, which is the, because those are transfer classes, you have to take Introduction to Teachers for tomorrow or something like that. You have a prerequisite before you can even get into that. Okay, and then the last thing, you have to take government to graduate high school, and you do have a AP government option to do with that. Okay, I do want to talk about AP for a minute, because we talked about dual enrollment, which means dual enrollment means you are dual enrolled at the high school and the community college at the same time. You have 2 separate GPAs. As soon as you take a dual enrollment class, your college GPA starts with New River. Okay, they're separate, high school GPA and a college GPA. The high school GPA is weighted for all your dual enrolled and your AP classes. So if you take a DE class, a dual enrollment class, and you get an A, that's a 5.0 average to your high school GPA. If you take welding dual enrolled and you get an A, that's a 5.0 average to your high school GPA. But your college GPA is not weighted, and it starts. So when you finish, if you decide you're going to go to New River, let's say you just do 1 year of Cougar Scholar, or you don't do any Cougar Scholar and you just do a bunch of dual enrollment and you go to New River, you have a college GPA. So take your dual enrollment seriously. Well, take all your classes seriously, but especially your dual enrollment, because you have a college GPA out there now. Okay? When you finish the Cougar Scholars Program and you go directly to a 4-year school after graduation, credits transfer to that 4-year school, but your GPA does not. It starts all over again at the 4-year school. Okay? Let's see. What else? Is there any questions about the classes that you're going to be taking? Okay. I do want to say a little bit about communication. We tell you over and over again in class meetings to check your email, but it is necessary, and we will be counting on Cougar Scholars to do that. The other thing is, if you are not on the Remind system for your graduating class, you need to get on the Remind system. It's in the announcements. It's probably the last page in the announcement, and it lists what that. We're not going to have a separate Remind for Cougar Scholars. You just sign up for the Remind that's your graduating class, and then we can follow you, and we can communicate with you one-on-one if there's some paperwork that we need. Okay? Sorry, I didn't really introduce myself. So I'm Mrs. Kleppen, and I am one of your career coaches here. You guys are fortunate that you have 2 career coaches. So we actually work for New River Community College, myself and Miss Waitman, but we're housed here in the high school to help the school counselors, help you guys to get done things that you need to get done. So we're just another resource for you. Miss Waitman is located in the CTE building down the end of the business lab hallway, down near marketing. I'm located in the school counseling office next to Miss Miano. And we are just happy to help you guys with anything having to do with your academics, and especially those of you that are going to go into the Cougar Scholars Program or even just do dual enrollment stuff. That's kind of what we do. We're a resource to you. All right. And just one more reiteration. The amount of dual enrollment that's offered to you guys, even if you didn't do the Cougar Scholars Program, you could certainly knock a year off of college easily if you take advantage of dual enrollment.
For free.
For free to you, but not free to the county. So let's see, anything else that?
No, right out 2 more minutes for the next group.
4 minutes, okay.
Which way is up, you think?
What questions do you all have? Gotta be something.
Do you have any questions? Yes. Okay, so the question was, we're supposed to type up the answers to each of the questions. Do we print it out or do we email it to you? You print it out and attach it as one packet gets turned in. Don't turn in individual anything. It's one packet comes back to me with, I think there's 7 questions. It could be 7 pages, or you don't have to write a whole page, of course, but attach it all together. Don't email or scan the application to me. It needs to be printed out because it goes to a committee. What happens is all this comes in and we do all kinds of stuff, and then it actually goes to a committee. And that committee of all the teachers that are on that committee will make the final decisions based on the applications. Good question.
Go ahead.
Will we have time to do other electives, or will it be all dual enrollment classes?
If you look at your sheet, it shows you down at the very bottom. If you have some electives that you can do, it looks like your junior year, you could do 2 electives, if I'm reading this correctly from the high school side. And then your senior year, it looks like you can do 2 electives. But you know, your priority, if you're going to be a Cougar Scholar, your priority is to complete everything needed for this. So we're going to guide you on that to make sure that you do not miss anything. And we work pretty closely with the Cougar Scholars to make sure you're staying on track for that graduation. The other thing, if you're serious about Cougar Scholars, in the announcements where it lists you can make an appointment with your school counselor or your career coach, go in there and request in the career coach portal to meet with either myself or Miss Waitman to get your New River application done. That has to be done, and it needs to be done correctly. So we don't mind helping you with that. So that might be something that you want to do. Even if you don't do Cougar Scholars, you're going to probably, all of you are going to be dual enrolled next year. I have no doubt. So maybe get that filled out if you haven't already done it. And we will get you guys one by one to get that done.
Okay, other questions?
Good questions.
Okay, so we'll move to giving you the application, get your GPA. We'll be here for questions. In about 5 minutes, there'll be another group coming in, which is the 9th graders. So we will have applications. If you want them, come on up, make a line, and we'll send you over to Miss Thompson.
And then whoever on this sheet that needs me to write your name on there.
I was never given it.
Okay, yes. Yep, find your name. Oh, you're already on it. Okay, good. And if you didn't check this off, make sure you do that.
My name's Evelyn.
I knew how
Make sure I
to.
can see your last name, because I'm gonna pull it up on,
Anybody else need application?
Sorry, no, by this I do not qualify.
That's all right, thank you for being here.
What's up? Good, you?
You gonna get in?
My goal is to do ghosts, but I will find it.
Yeah. Used to be.
Ah,
Now, would I take it next year? And then to have something for my senior year, and I can take
You guys, come on in. You all in this line, we're gonna move it all the way up to the back so we can get our first. And then you guys can listen to what we have to say.
okay, stop right there. Here you go. Yep. What's your last name? Carrico? Oh, right there you are. Right? Four point oh. Next. Yeah. Hey, I can give you, if you get back and take the next person, right? Let's go 1, 2, yeah. Yeah.
I think
VIA.
ERS. Thank you.
Right with. 4.0.
Thank you.
Next. Come on, Emma.
You guys here for the Cougar Scholar meeting? Come on down to the front.
Last name? Nova? Yes. Okay, so she's got 4.8. Keep them coming, Elizabeth. I think. Hey. Isaiah?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, graduation.
That's
Gotta be before.
4
Like the end of May.
Okay.
So it won't be before June.
That's
Summer
our.
school will be in June.
Oh, I think it was right. Okay.
Do you want to write it?
That's right. 3.8. If you're interested, I would.